All right, here we are for our second match. We won the die roll this time. We're gonna go ahead and play first. This hand is okay. We're hoping that we're up against a deck where Lightning Bolt and Path are good cards. We go ahead and keep it. We're a little bit mana heavy for our tastes, but not too bad. This is a great hand against something like Infect or Affinity. I put it as Kitchen Finkel. I like that. Okay. We're getting Inquisitioned. Well, if this is Jund, Bolt is nice against Bob. Abzan is less likely to have Bob, but I like the name Kitchen Finkel. That's pretty great. Gonna play this. Reliquary, none of the Reliquary is pretty nice. Though it is potentially awkward if my opponent does just have a Liliana. No, okay, well, it's less good now, since my opponent's probably just gonna take out this Inquisition. Alright, so it is Jund. We got a Stomping Ground. Just gonna play Scavenging Ooze. Don't really have the luxury to sort of sit back and not play this. I bet that's getting killed. Our opponent's playing a Scavenging Ooze. I guess I'll respond by eating a guy. Ooh, okay, that is quite bad for my opponent. I will bolt your ooze. I'm just gonna eat your ooze and my knight. Attack you for 5. Terminate. Okay. I'll play a Tarmogoyf. Seems like a good draw. We're just gonna say go. I don't want to play my land in case he were to Liliana tick up. I want to have the forest in my hand. No, probably getting Liliana now, unfortunately. No, he has a Tarmogoyf. Okay. Kind of just want to draw my card and possibly no, if I draw like an exalted creature, I don't have to path it, but I'm just going to path it. Given that my opponent's stalled on land, I don't particularly like casting path there. But we did draw a exalted creature. But the problem was if I wanted to be able to, if I do like Knight of the Reliquary, I want to be able to cast Knight of the Reliquary on my turn. So I think that casting the Path to Exile was worth it overall. What is okay? So I don't want to get Kolagon's Commanded. Maybe there's a reason to play my land. It's also potentially a reason to keep it in my hand, so I can draw something that's. What is this? Okay, all right. Kolgan's going to kill this. All right, it's gonna be discard. Yeah. I mean, I could have played that out, but at the same time, like holding this in my hand. That was Murderous Cut. Wow. Or Tassiger. Okay. Ooh, it even shrinks my guy. All right. Well. This is no longer a good position for me. And it's now suddenly quite bad. Hierarch. If I attack with Tarmogoyf, there's 2 creatures, so he can't actually... He could double block, but I'd kill a guy. We're going to attack with Tarmogoyf. I actually want to kill the ooze here, because that allows me to draw Knight of the Reliquary and potentially take over the game with that. Drawing just mana creature, mana creature. Oh, okay, this is another ooze. Alright, well we did draw Knight of the Reliquary, but he has that second ooze. So my knight is not able to be particularly threatening. And he's threatening lethal right away. And it's terminate. Alright, well we are basically dead now. And I mean, this more or less was just a matter of, we got to a stage in the game where he was like kind of mana screwed, and then just sort of drew out of it, and yeah, we're dead. And I just drew a couple of mana sources in a row and wasn't able to keep the pressure up. I also didn't draw. I did not draw Collected Company, which is one of the best cards. So here, I kind of want to just bring in just Bonfire. Maybe it's worth actually bringing in Blood Moon. He does have lots of non-basics, including Manlands. Maybe it's worth just bringing in the 1 Blood Moon. I feel like the worst cards, like some of the mana creatures, are kind of bad. I don't want to, like there, if I'd drawn an action spell instead of a mana creature, it would have been, much better for me. And also, because the Jund deck has so many ways to remove your larger threats, it seems like it's possible that the mana creatures aren't necessarily worth the acceleration, basically the cost you pay of having the low impact cards in your deck. So I'm going to cut maybe like this and bring in the 1 Blood Moon and the 1 Bonfire. I'm going to try this. I will go ahead and play first. This hand is okay. If we draw a fetch land, it's great. Like we have Nakatl, Nakatl. I'm gonna go ahead and keep it. We need another, basically a way to get white mana. If we draw any fetched land on turn 2, our hand is fantastic because we just have a pair of Nakatls immediately. Alright, we took my Scavenging Ooze. Well, not a fetch. I do just want to play this though. So I don't take pain if I want to play it later. It does give him full information about what's in my hand, but now we are once again on really want to fetch land. Third Wild Nakatl. Okay, well. Please don't Maelstrom Pulse me. Don't do it. Don't Maelstrom Pulse me. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. That's actually also kind of annoying. I'm going to discard the Knight. If I draw a land, I'd rather Collected Company at this point. And that's also kind of gross, because if these were, full-size Nakatls, they would, you know, not be vulnerable to that at all. It's a little unusual. You know, this deck has, what, 12 fetch lands? I've drawn none of them among my mana sources. What is this? Olivia. Well, good thing I have this lightning bolt. Not a fetch land. Tarmogoyf's a pretty good draw, though. It is not as good as a fetch land would be, but it's a fairly strong draw. Or my opponent's at 6 life, so... Finally, a land gets to the yard, making Tarmogoyf a 4/5. Liliana. Alright, well, if he has Terminate for the Tarmogoyf, so I think I attack... Ugh, this is awkward. Because if I attack him with both, I guess he has Bolt or Terminate. He doesn't die. Maybe I take Nicodle at Liliana, Tarmogoyf at him, because Terminate doesn't take any damage. But then I can at least play my Noble Hierarch, and then potentially Collected Company, access my white mana. I mean, he might just be dead. I think I'd rather kill Liliana and put him at 1. I mean, because if he has Terminate, then he's going to kill my Tarmogoyf no matter what, and putting him to 3 isn't that good. If he has Bolt, he's going to kill Nicodle. So it's going to be basically the same thing whether I attack Liliana or his face. So I guess I think I'm going to split it. So if he has the Terminate, yeah, if he has the Terminate, his Liliana's going to die. Yep, or Abrupt Decay. Yes. Okay, so we still kill Liliana. I'm going to play Hierarch. Because I just attacked both at him, and he had you know, the way to kill my Nicodle. Ooze. Okay, Ooze is pretty powerful here. He doesn't have that much green mana. And Dark Confidant. Okay. Knight of the Reliquary. I have literally no creatures in my yard. So I can't attack him with Nicodle. He takes 3. Maybe I can. He would take 3 from this. No, I guess I just Company right now, because if I hit another Exalted creature, then I can attack with Wild Nicodle because you can only make this guy 4/4. So I think I just Company right now. And there's 2 Exalted creatures. Well, that is pretty weak Collected Company, but it does force him to block my Nicodle. He can chump with Confidant, or he can trade with both. Yeah, so I figured it was probably going to happen. Well, this ooze is able to get really big. 1, 2, 3. It can only be 6 right now. So if I actually draw a fetch land, my Nicodle can attack into it. Oh my god. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it could be 6. Finally fetch. This is the longest I've ever seen it had a 2/2 Nicodle in my life, I think. And we'll get a Temple Garden. We trade, and I get to play Knight. Alright, well, he has no cards right now. So hopefully he doesn't kill my Knight. Because if he doesn't kill my Knight, I think he's in a lot of trouble. Oh, go for the throat. Okay. Raging Ravining me. Okay. Well. Oh man. Quads. Hit him for 3. This Nicodle is lethal if he doesn't have any way to deal with it. Hierarchs are also still potential problems. Can you just draw a discard spell or something? What is this? Like, oh, he's attacking. Okay. Alright. 10. Now I'm drawing all these when they would have been the best cards of the world a while ago. Okay, well, if he has Bolt, he can just Bolt Nicodle. It's like Bolt or Terminate. I mean, you have to have Bolt or Terminate to not die to Nicodle. Like, if he has... He can't... there's no way he could attack there if he doesn't have Bolt, because he could chump block at least. So I think I just attack with a Hierarch, which means he has to, like, Bolt my Hierarch, potentially. I guess he doesn't have to. I'm just going to attack with a Hierarch. Because this way, you know, if he has Bolt, there's a reasonable chance that he just casts it. No, he just goes to 2. Interesting. I'm just going to say go. Fulminator. Okay. I'm again sort of putting in a position where if he wants to use a removal spell, he has to use it on a Noble Hierarch. Kill him now. Alright. So I kind of had him like on Terminate there. It was the only card that made sense to be in his hand at that point. I mean, it could be Lightning Bolt, but I could, you know, like try and get him to use that. So yeah, I mean, that game, despite me, I mean, like my Hierarch, or rather Nicodle's not actually being activated for a million turns, I got a lot of damage in. And we were stuck with Galactic Company. And even when we did collect a company, we just hit 2 hierarchs, but it ended up being enough. I'll go with the same configuration. I think it's quite strong. And this is an excellent hand. I'm just going to... We're going to just fetch into... We're gonna get Inquisitioned or Thoughtseize or something here. There we go. So he takes Knight or Hierarch, obviously changes things a little bit. Yeah, he takes Hierarch. So I'm just gonna play a fetch. We're just gonna play this one. And that's actually pretty annoying because of our knight. It does eliminate a great deal of the power of our knights. I'm gonna go get Sacred Founder here, so I think so we can just play Forest and play this. But maybe I actually want to get Stomping Ground so I can get Plains with this. Yeah, I think I get Stomping Ground and then get Plains. Because if I draw another fetch, I want to be able to just play the knight. Yeah, because we want to pressure his green mana on Scavenging Ooze with the lands in our graveyard with knights. So we're gonna get Stomping Ground. And we're gonna use this to get Plains, basic Plains, and Pride Mage. Well, we are not blocking. We take the 3. I will attack you right back for 3. All of my creatures are very vulnerable to this ooze. This is very unfortunate. And yep, we're gonna do this. I'm gonna go to basic, I think. I'm gonna get basic Forest here. We don't really have much need for double anything but green, so we're just gonna get basic Forest. I think, right? Yeah, and play Knight. Alright. Well, this would seem that he doesn't have a Terminate at least, which is good. But he is getting multiple green mana, so he can potentially shrink my knight. Is this a Liliana, perhaps? Maelstrom Pulse. I'm at least glad that he didn't Maelstrom Pulse when I played the second knight. Yeah, but this is still kind of brutal. The ooze is a 4/4. This actually could be problematic if I don't end up getting it. If I like draw Path this turn, I could potentially. I guess I could Path this and play Goyf. Oh god, no. Well, I do not want to miracle that. Can cast it for a lot, but not. I could have cast it for 2 there. Not very impressive. It's a card we want to draw later in the game. Not really right just yet. I'm at 10. My opponent's at 6. I can't block because he'll just eat my lands and thus my knight. Hopefully it doesn't just have like bolt or something. Goyf. Okay, well he has access to green, so we can shrink this guy twice. Path is a very good draw. I think I just Path the ooze right now and see what he does. Sort of force his hand with potentially removing stuff with my knight. he's like Kolagon's command, I don't want to like play this, and then not be able to, then have to discard my bonfire. So I kind of think that I want to attack just with the knight here, because if I attack with the knight and I play Tarmogoyf, then my opponent is not in a position to be able to attack back because I just have a Tarmogoyf against Tarmogoyf. If I attack with Pride Mage, well, his guy's too big. So I think, yeah. I mean, I could, use knight and try and fetch, but I think I just want to attack with knight here. It's going to be 5/5. I mean, he could theoretically block and bolt or something. All right, well, we're just going to play Tarmogoyf here. And now, other than like a double bolt, I feel like I'm in a very, very good position. I'm not going to play my land despite having the bonfire because I don't want him to potentially Kolagon's command make me discard the bonfire. Is Liliana? Fulminator. Okay. I think he's dead. I can bonfire him for 2, putting him to 1. And he currently doesn't even have any black mana, so he can't terminate. He would have played, I think he would have played Fulminator last turn if this was in his hand, because he just played Tarmogoyf. Right? So I think we win. I'm just going to, yeah, bonfire you for 2. Killing Fulminator and doing 2 damage to you, putting you to 1, attack with all my creatures. That non-basic land is dead. You have killed it. So yeah, if he even has a removal spell, it's got 1 card. Kill you. And we win. He gives the honorable victory of sacking his Wooded Foothills. So there, I mean, I think that game, our opponent mulliganed didn't really have a ton going on. Only cast 4 spells that game, 5 spells, given the including the ooze. And the cards that we played were actually quite powerful. Knight is just a bigger creature than anything that they have, and it's difficult for them to be able to deal with it. And I just had a little bit more action than my opponent did, and it paid off. So I think that the Jund type deck against the Naya Company deck feels like it's a fairly evenish match. Collected Company and Knight are your best cards. Feels like by a fair margin. And I think they're more powerful than a lot of the cards that they have. They obviously have the potential to be really, really high impact, and lots of their cards are, sort of strong and efficient, but a little bit less overall, proactively powerful. And you are able to get ahead when they're unable to remove your best cards. And obviously they have a good removal, but sometimes you just have too many of your best cards for them to be able to kill. So anyway, let's move on to the next match.